got some updates for you today about what's shaking this week. And then I have a funny personal story at the end. So we'll take care of business first, and then I'm going to share some funny stuff that I think is funny, and in an effort for you to get to know a little bit more about me. And for a lot of people that watch these things, they are family, friends, people that have known me for a long time, and they get to enjoy my humor. So what's shaking this week? First of all, thanks for being here. Thanks for being a follower on one of the platforms where I'm going live, and your connection to me, I appreciate, and I want you to know how important that is to me. One of the things that I've talked about several different times, but I haven't mentioned it lately. We're going to have a guest next week on the podcast, not this Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central, but the next week. And we're going to be talking a little bit around taking care of ourselves as business owners. And this sunflower right here, and then some of the little ones, sunflowers, however you want to point to them, those are a reminder to me that I'm trying to build a community of small business owners, entrepreneurs, founders who are wanting to grow their business in a more stable way, but also because they're taking care of themselves. I personally have dealt with some mental health challenges. I know a lot of small business owners have too. We as a demographic are a group of people that typically we're in a silo by ourselves. And so we're more prone to deal with depression and just different things. And so part of what I want to be able to do is build a community of people that know that they're not alone. We are building different businesses, but we're there to help support and to grow together on this journey as we make our impact in the world. And so I'm really excited, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, we have a special guest about that. This coming week, you get me Wednesday, 2 days from now, and I'm going to be talking about, yes, we teach about retention, client growth, marketing, all kinds of different things, but I'm going to talk about this week what happens when you're doing everything you can to grow your business and onboard the appropriate people to work with you or for you, and you have to fire somebody, a client or a teammate. And this is really going to focus more on the client side of things. And I use the word fire, just it's a little dramatic. The situation I'm going to talk about, it wasn't really a firing, it was just a recognition of that they weren't a good fit for us. We were not a good fit for them, and what that looked like to end well and how to protect your team and your business, because not every client is a good client. And when you onboard properly, I believe you can start to see that sooner than later. And so we're going to be talking about that on Wednesday. And then Friday, if you haven't made it to one of the sticky note retention tip workshops or trainings on Friday, we've had some really good conversations this coming week, Friday at noon Central. Sticky note number 9 is how you can actually implement a system in as little as 15 minutes a week. I like to teach things that are, you don't have to spend a ton of tech time or money, and where you can actually start to move the needle forward in just 15 minutes. Like, it's the whole commercial, 15 minutes can save you whatever. But this is 15 minutes that a week that you are able to then build in processes to do consistently so that you're able to keep your clients longer and get more referrals. Speaking of 15 minutes to save you hundreds of dollars on whatever the thing is, my team has convinced me, because we're doing a new rollout. Maybe you saw the video I posted yesterday, but it's a 4-minute video. So it doesn't even take 15 minutes. I'll put the link for that around here so you'll be able to go back and actually watch the video to see what we're up to. We are going to restructure how we're delivering Retention Made Simple. And because of that, we're changing platforms, and it's going to be so much better. I'm so excited. But my team has encouraged me between now and February 16th to offer a stupid good offer for the Retention Made Simple Done With You program. If you want information on that, you can watch the video that I'm going to link below here. It'll tell you all about it. What I don't know is right now, the stupid good offer that's there today, that price may change. We may raise it up a little bit each week between now and then to get us back to the regular price. So to guarantee that you get the best stupid good offer, watch the video. Let me know if you're interested. So this week we have the podcast talking about what to do when you need to fire someone. And then the training is on Friday at 12 noon Central, where we're going to be talking about how 15 minutes truly can impact your business to keep your clients longer and get more referrals. Now, I promise you a funny story. So some of you know, if you've been watching or following, I was considering doing the sensory deprivation float, where you're in the little thing with the salt water and you just float. And if there's a way that you could do that wrong, it was me. So I went and did my float Sunday, and I absolutely loved it. It was so good. And I'm 99% sure I did it wrong. And let me just say, like, my brain is on all the time. I'm thinking all the time. It's really hard for me to rest my brain. So I do some meditations and to clear that. I do some nervous system regulation to do that. And so I was thinking that going into this float, that I have processes that would help me do that. And what I recognized really quickly was there was some lights in there, and you could push the button and turn it completely off, and it was completely black. And I was like, dark. And I'm like, oh, this feels so good. But you're supposed to just lay there and float. And you're like, they have video that shows you, like, you're laying here and you're floating, or some people float like this. But what I did instead, first of all, I had my hair up, thinking that if I had my hair up, it wouldn't bother me so much. And so I had my hair up in a ponytail thing on the top of my head. And I recognized really quickly that it felt like I had a 20-pound ball of something on my head. And so I had to take my hair down, and the water, I could feel my hair floating around me. And it actually felt really good. And so I liked the way it felt when I was moving. So I'm laying in this big thing, and even arm to arm, like finger to finger, like I couldn't touch, and head to toe, I couldn't touch. But if I put my hands up and I floated towards the top, I could then push off the wall and then hit with my feet and push back. And so in this time of supposedly just very peaceful floating, I'm doing this push back and forth or side to side, and I could feel my hair going, and it felt so nice. And I know that's not what I'm supposed to do. And then the other thing that I did, and maybe you can relate to this if you're an overthinker, is I know that when I get out of doing this float, that it's like a massage MB type plan thing where they're going to try and sell you a thing to continue coming to get the thing. And so I spent quite a bit of time, more time than I would like to admit, trying to think about how I was going to tell them no. Because even though I liked it, I got to figure out the budget. I'm not going to make a decision that day. And honestly, the location isn't super convenient. So the floats are an hour, takes me about 20, 25 minutes to get there. So that's a total of 2 hours. Plus then you have to get dried off and everything. So all in, it's like a 2.5 hour thing every time I would go. So if I could find something closer to home, or even a 30-minute float instead of an hour. And so I just wasn't going to say yes right away. And so I was thinking, what am I going to say? I have to have a thing. So I basically got out, and they did so good. It was not a hard pressure thing. She said, this is what we're doing. And I said, yeah, I'm just not going to be able to do that right now. But I really I did enjoy it. And so that's all. And so I don't know if anybody else has done the floats, and have you decided to push off the walls. And actually I put my feet down at some point, like to where my feet were flat on the ground. And I felt like I was doing a core workout. I don't think I was supposed to be trying to work out. I think I was supposed to be just still and peaceful. So if you can fail at floating, I might have, but I still had a really great time. And I'm so glad I did it. So if you have any questions for me or need anything, not about float advice, because I'm probably the wrong girl, but if you have any questions around retention, if you'd like to be interviewed for the podcast, let me know. I can send you a form to fill out so I can make sure you're a good fit and we can help promote you as well as the retention stuff. Then I would love to have you.